She walked quietly into the lecture hall, a simple woman in a gray cardigan. When the elite professor forced her to solve an impossible equation, everyone exchanged smirks. They were about to witness mathematics history. Professor Richard Harrington commanded the podium at Texas State University, distinguished mathematician and notorious for his disdain toward anyone he deemed intellectually inferior. Sarah Mitchell slipped into the back row, smoothing her gray cardigan. At 37, she stood out among the graduate students. She was there to learn. During the symposium on Riemann's hypothesis, Sarah took meticulous notes. She overheard students whispering, "Who's the cleaning lady taking notes?" They didn't know mathematics had been her companion since childhood, that she taught herself advanced calculus between night shifts while raising her daughter alone. When Harrington presented his approach to an unsolved problem, Sarah recognized a subtle flaw. She raised her hand almost involuntarily. "I was wondering about the variable transformation in step 4, she said softly. "Wouldn't that create inconsistencies with the boundary conditions?" "Your department," Harrington demanded. "I work in facilities management." Whisper spread. "Facilities management," he repeated mockingly. "How interesting. And you believe you found an error in my work? Instead of questioning established principles, you should focus on more accessible pursuits," he interrupted. Students laughed. Sarah shrank back, wishing she'd never raised her hand. Harrington wasn't done. "Since our guest has such confidence, perhaps she'd like to demonstrate her expertise." He gestured to the chalkboard. "Come forward, Ms. Mitchell." Sarah froze, but something pushed her to her feet. She took the chalk and he wrote a complex differential equation. "Take your time," he said with false generosity. Sarah's hand trembled, but the numbers arranged themselves in her mind. She raised the chalk and worked methodically through the problem. After 2 minutes, she finished. Harrington stared, confused. The solution was correct and elegant. "That's correct," he admitted reluctantly. "Let's try something more challenging." He wrote a cutting-edge equation from his current research on quantum computing encryption. Sarah examined it, confidence wavering. This was different. As seconds ticked by, Harrington reached for the chalk. "Wait," Sarah said. Something clicked. She began writing, taking an unconventional route. Dr. Elizabeth Chun sat forward, eyes widening. Halfway through, Sarah paused at a barrier. Then she saw the pathway forward and applied an elegant transformation. Gasps came from the front row. Harrington's face lost all color. "That's the Lou Takahashi method," Dr. Chin declared. "It was only published last month." "How could you possibly know it?" "I didn't know it was called that," Sarah said, voice stronger. "I've never had formal training beyond community college. Mathematics has always made sense to me. I see patterns, connections. Because I love mathematics," she told Harrington. "Learning doesn't stop when life gets complicated." She turned back and finished the solution with fluid grace, creating innovations that hadn't been published anywhere. "That's remarkable," Dr. Chin said. "This is publishable work." Applause filled the hall. Sarah had become visible, truly visible. For the first time, 6 months later, Sarah stood before her own classroom, explaining complex theorems with authority. Dr. Chun had arranged an emergency fellowship. 2 of her theoretical approaches had been published. Her daughter Lily transferred to the university on full scholarship. "Never be afraid to raise your hand," she told her students. "The question you're afraid to ask might change everything."